What's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy days to watch this video with me. I want to say hi to Austin and Kayla right out the gate. It'll be our first episode of Rides with Dad, and I wanted to take just a couple minutes to explain how we got here. For those of you who read the description, you'll know that it said about 6 months ago I lost my dad. And it was the hardest thing that I've had to deal with in my life. And what I found was I really enjoyed riding my bike and thinking about my dad and trying to help myself heal as I was riding my bike. So every single ride will probably start out right where we're at right now, at least while I live in northern Italy, because this ride is a ride that I rode every day for about 3 months. And I would race myself because one of the things my dad used to always say is just do something and be good at it. So every day I'd race myself to try to be better than I was the day before because it would make me feel good. Well, 6 months after losing my dad has now turned into about a year. I ended up having a knee injury, but my goal is to share a little wisdom and also show you how beautiful northern Italy is. Hope to not talk the whole entire time. But I do want to talk because I think there's a lot of things that I can say that people need to hear. And those are all things that I've learned through influential people in my life. So I'll start by saying this is a 6.5 mile ride, and it's beautiful in Polcenego. This time of year for sure, but today I'll ride it slow so you guys can see what we got going on. This is the final strip. I'm not really on a hill now, so I catch my breath here and then we buckle in to get going fast here in just a minute. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Coming up here in a second, it's going to be one of my favorite parts of the ride, and I hope you can see those sweet mountains up above, right up there. If not, we'll get a picture one of these days. But this will be the descent down into the city center of Polcenego. That's the commune that I live in right now in northern Italy. Beautiful, beautiful time of year. And Polcenego butts right up to the base of the Dolomites or the Prealps. So hopefully you can see it. If not, I know you'll be able to when we come around and start going the other direction. But this right here, this is the fun part of the ride. So coming out of city center, now we'll ride around and we'll link up to the stream we just crossed here in just a second. This is one of my favorite parts of the ride, mainly because it does kind of remind me of my dad. Every time I ride it, I think about how much he would love being here right now. And this is where I've done a lot of talking to him as I ride up these trails. Lots of laughs, cried a few times, and just really thought about how lucky I was to have a dad like him. So as we come around the backside of this trail, we're at an area right now that's called Parco di San Floriano. And this park is pretty awesome. They've got a huge outdoor petting zoo. They've also got a restaurant. And we've done a lot of communicating here with our Italian friends. Salve. We've done a lot of hanging out, fellowship with our Italian friends at Parco di San Floriano because number one, they've got really awesome food, and number two, it's just a really cool place to hang out. Not really visited by Americans too much. We're very lucky to have some great Italian friends who brought us here, and it was pretty much for our entire 3 years here, our Sunday hangout in the summer and warmer months. It's also one of the most challenging parts of the ride for here in just a second, because we're probably gonna go up about 200 feet over about a quarter of a mile. So you're gonna really hear me grunt, probably pant a little bit, but I promise you I'll make it. I used to not even be able to ride all the way up it. I'd have to get off and push. So it's a little victories. as you get to the top, you can see a pretty awesome Italian villa. And then when we get on the other side, can't wait to show you what's next. We are in Italy. So the very first thing you see when you get out of the park is a vineyard. And these are all grapes. Pretty awesome. If you're watching this, it's going to be pretty close to the 7th of May, 2020. And if you've been living under a rock, the world is starting to come out of the biggest pandemic in my lifetime. And what you didn't see there is I pulled up my neck gaiter or my face covering, because in Italy it's the law. If you're outside and you come in contact with people and you're not able to stay out of their space, you should wear a face covering as a sign of respect for them. I know that this piece of cloth over my mouth doesn't do anything for me, but to them, it's helping me, or it's helping them from having me spread my germs to them. So even if it knocks it down a little bit, that's the way the Italians look at it, and that's the way we're going to do it. Lots of debate on whether you should wear cloth face coverings or not, but we're going to do it. Up here on the left will be one of my son and wife's favorite bars. And I know what you're thinking when I say bar, and it's partially true. In Italy, bars are looked at a little differently. Yeah, they do sell alcoholic beverages, but they also sell coffee, pastries, sandwiches, almost like little fast food restaurants. So you have to adjust to the way the locals live and their terminology when you live in another country. If you've seen my Instagram or saw my Instagram, that andrà tutto bene, everything will be fine, is the first picture I put on there, because I think that says a whole lot about my personal situation and losing my dad as well. This stretch of the road during my recovery time and my self-healing time, this stretch of the road was always tough for me, because I had a playlist and I always seemed to hit the same song right here, and it was the Highwayman. Of course, my version of the Highwayman is by the White Buffalo. My dad used to always sing the original Highwayman that had Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, and I would always really think hard about him right here and think about how much I missed him. But I realized that if my dad was even still here right now, he would be telling me everything's going to be fine and that I am going to be okay, and all I need to do is just keep going forward and just keep doing something. So that's what I'm going to do. as sad as I am sometimes, I'm still very happy to have had a dad like my dad. And this channel, I just want and hope that I can share just a little bit of what my dad gave me. I know my son and daughter, who are both adults, will be listening to me, probably judging everything I'm saying, but it means the world to me. So hopefully you'll stick around. I've got a couple pages of episodes written down that I've been able to do over my last 6 months. So we'll see how it turns out. One of the first things I thought when I came up with the idea for the YouTube channel was I've never edited maybe one video my whole entire time. So I've done a lot of research. I know my first few videos aren't going to be that great, but hopefully I can get good at it and we can have some fun along the way. As we get off road here a little bit, I hope you can appreciate the colors, and I hope you can appreciate how you've hardly heard anything but cars passing me and me talking. There's very little noise pollution in Italy. I think the entire time I've been here, I've maybe heard an ambulance twice, maybe 3 times, and a fire truck once. So hopefully you can hear the birds chirping. I know you're probably hearing my tires on the gravel road right now, but it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome just to have such a clean environment to live in. This is about to be the end of the ride, but it's one of the most beautiful parts. A couple areas of beautiful streams, lots of nice little drop-offs, waterfalls, running water, and all around just awesomeness. So that was one. We'll cross one more path up here in just a second, and then we'll be in the home stretch, and I'll wrap it up for you guys. I also put a Facebook and Instagram post with this area right here, soaking my old feet. But what's beautiful right here is not only do you see the water, but you come up and you can really see the Dolomites. Right now we got a storm rolling in, but you'll see it in the future with sun. And I would always open my mind up right here and try to clear my head before I got home, because I didn't want to carry my sadness home. I didn't want to carry it over to work. I just had to get myself right. So during this stretch of my ride, this is actually where I came up with talking to you guys on this camera and showing you guys this stuff. This is what I would do with my dad all the time. I would FaceTime with him whenever we went someplace really cool, and I'd show it to him. So we had lots of conversations about just how cool it was to live in Italy. And I thought to myself as I was riding this road one day, well, try the YouTube channel, see how that figures out, or how that works out. And here we are. So I hope you can stay with me. I hope you can appreciate what I'm trying to do. I know that just doing something, kind of my theme for the day today, is going to be my goal through this whole entire time. So if you want to share it, if you want to like it, that's cool. I have no other motivation than helping myself keep going, and to keep just doing something. I think one thing that's very, very, very important when you lose a parent is realizing what you're saying to yourself and realizing what you need to say to others to help yourself heal. I moped around for a little bit and was really sad, but then I had to start having conversations with myself about how my dad wouldn't want me to be that way. And it's amazing what happens when you start having some positive self-talk and start having some positive thoughts and positive memories. And that's, again, right here is how that all came to fruition with this channel. So we'll wrap it up. We'll go around the corner. We'll be at my house, which my house is right over in that direction. So hopefully you can see that. The White House. Ciao. And that's going to wrap us up for today. Thanks for riding with me.